Yo, what's going on, you little rats? It's your boy Problem here, dropping another video for you guys. And as you guys can see from the intro, it's a story time. Yes, this is about my first ever broken bone. I know you guys might be thinking, yo, this guy's a straight savage. This guy's a goon, right? He probably was caught lacking, and the ops shot him in the thigh, and he fell and broke his arm. Or maybe you guys think I'm a fucking rock star, so I was performing my concert at... I'm not even an artist, but somehow some of you guys think that I was performing a concert, decided to stage dive. They didn't catch me because they didn't know who the fuck I was. So I probably snapped my neck or something. It's nothing like that, guys. My story of how I broke my first bone is not only lame, it's embarrassing, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, how weak are you? But nevertheless, let's get into the story. So I ended up breaking what I broke. I wanted to keep it a surprise so you guys can be like in shock of how this would happen to me. And so it was 9th grade summer, transitioning to 10th grade. And every other year, me and my parents, well, my mom, my sister, and I, we travel to Guatemala. Sometimes it's all three of us, sometimes me and my sister, or sometimes someone by themselves. And this time it was my first ever time traveling by myself to Guatemala. And I was scared. Like, obviously I was like a little bitch, guys. Like, I was in the airport, they called my flight like, so and so flight, you're ready to go. And then I started freaking out and I started crying. Kid you guys not, I started crying. I started calling everyone in my family like, you guys better pick me the fuck up. And then I was like, please. I told my sister to sneak out with her boyfriend to pick me up, and I told my mom that I hated her for making me do that. I was just being an absolute drama queen, guys, like a straight bitch. But nevertheless, I ended up going to Guatemala, which was great. It was so smooth. I was worried about some paperwork that my mom warned me about, but this awesome lady, for some reason, she decided to help my ugly ass. So she helped me fill out the paperwork. And after I got out the plane, after we arrived at Guatemala, I met this lady. She was a university teacher in a Guatemala university. I don't know which one. I don't quite remember because it was a while back. And she helped me too. She helped me get my luggage. She helped me file paperwork as well. And then I was in Guatemala for 4 weeks. And it was a blast. The first 3 weeks, amazing. Hung out with my cousins, my aunties. They cooked me. They cooked me. They didn't cook me, dude. They cooked for me. They fed me like a king. They always treat me like a king. Shout out to them. Because although they're not economically stable, they still try their best, you know, to treat you like a king. And, you know, they appreciate you so much when you go to visit. And shout out to them. Absolutely amazing family. So then, it's coming down to the last week, right? So the last week, it was the worst week of the whole vacation. There was thunderstorm, there was rain, it was gloomy, it was dark, so you couldn't do shit, right? You had to be inside the house. And guys, when I'm telling you, it was raining, it was fucking raining, like straight pouring, like it legit sounded like rocks were being thrown in the roof, like legit rocks, yo. So I was like, oh my god, like this sucks. I wanted to, you know, spend my last week here, go visit all the family I possibly could, have a great time. And I wasn't able to because of fucking weather. So what the fuck, Mother Nature? She chose the worst day to freaking act like a dickhead. But nevertheless, the story continues, right? So it was one particular night, thunderstorm. Kid you not, I'm not making this scenario. It was the perfect night for something dumb and disastrous to help me. Thunderstorm, no lie. Raining, right? It was raining. It was probably one of the hardest days of rain. It was absolutely terrifying, dude. Not only that, I saw a fat ass spider, guys, like the size of my hand, crawling down. Almost had a heart attack. I tell my uncle, right, and he says, oh, don't worry, I'm sleeping in that house, ladies and gentlemen. He tells me, oh, don't worry. It could have crawled up my face, guys. Like, it could fill my face. Nevertheless, that's not the story. First that happened, so I was freaking out. And then I was watching Chavo del Ocho. If you guys are not like Hispanic or don't know what that show is, I'll leave it right here. Right here. Okay. So yes, it was a good show, funny show, and every night, well, not every night, but most of the nights I would eat tacos. Like, my cousin would go pick up tacos for me. Beautiful tacos, beautiful, beautiful tacos. I don't know, but it was so beautiful, amazing, guys. So then that night,
Okay.
alright, so every other night my cousin would go buy tacos for us. And that night I was particularly telling him not to buy tacos, right? But he insisted. He probably wanted me to cop some tacos for him. Shit, I always did, so you know. He probably was in a mood for some tacos. And you know, I can't fight tacos. Of course I'm eat beautiful ass tacos. They were delicious. So then he goes out and then he brings the tacos, right? He was soaking wet, but you know, he was still enjoying the tacos with me. But then he ended up leaving because he lives with his girlfriend. So then, I am sitting, eating, enjoying my tacos, watching Chavo del Ocho, laughing my brains out, you know. So in Guatemala, there's these little mosquitoes called zancudos. And what zancudos do is they bite you, and when they bite you, it starts itching. It starts itching really bad. So they basically suck your blood like assholes, and then leave. So they basically take a part of you and dip. What the fuck? But nevertheless, a zancudo bit me, and you know what? I was bitten by zancudos like all throughout the whole vacation, and I can ignore. You know, it doesn't itch. It doesn't. If I keep telling myself it doesn't itch, it doesn't itch, it doesn't itch. But my weakness is my back, and this particular zancudo has the audacity to not even ask for permission. It snuck up and behind my back and bit me right here. I still remember the spot. It was right here, right, and it itched. My back is like, it itched so bad. And you know when you scratch something and you're not supposed to scratch it, it's just even worse. So I was going ham on it, you know what? I itched it and it was like, I felt good, and then I started itching it, but then it started itching even more, and I kept scratching it. And then, I don't know why I decided to go Super Saiyan, so I was like, vigorously scratching that shit, right? Vigorously, guys. And then I heard a snap. I was like, dear Lord. Lord have mercy. If God exists, nothing happened, right? And I was like, holy shit. Someone please tell me this isn't what it is. So then I was like, alright, I gotta face my fears, right? Slowly. I was caressing my back slowly. I look at my hand. I look at my fingers, right? I broke my finger, guys. I broke my finger scratching my back. Not made up story. I'm gonna try to show you my finger. It was the middle finger that I broke, so probably the most important finger ever. I don't know if you guys can see that little bump right there. Well, yeah, I broke it. If you guys can't see it that good, I'll put a picture right here. Okay, there's the picture for you guys. And yes, it was disgusting, guys. It was even worse than that. It was like fully popped up, like up here. It was gross. And I was laughing at first because of how disgusting it looked. I'm not kidding. But then I started to cry. I started to cry because I knew they were not going to take me to the hospitals, because the hospitals over there are terrible, especially in this gloomy ass, rainy ass night, thunderstorms and shit. No one wants to be outside. So then my auntie suggests my uncle's girlfriend that lives in the back, because there's just like a certain amount of land that my mom bought, and it's my grandma's house, which is my mom's house now, my mom's sister's house, which was where I was at, and then a house they were building where my uncle was building his house, right? So then we go over there. Supposedly she was a nurse. She gets my finger, guys, and slowly starts to put it in place. Worst pain ever. Worst pain ever. I swear to God, I cried so much. But you know, no, I wasn't crying, but I hurt. And you know that ugly ass face you do when something's really hurting you, and you just try to keep it in because you want to show your manhood? I was like this. You know that ugly ass face? I know you guys do that too. That little ugly face. Well, yeah, guys, I broke my finger scratching my back in Guatemala in vacation where I'm supposed to be having a good time. And I had to come since you know how they give you casts and shit, like in CVS you can buy a temporary cast. We didn't have CVS over there. We didn't have anything. So what my auntie had to do, she would survive in the wilderness, guys, 100%. So she got a popsicle stick, broke the stick for the popsicle, you know, the little stick you hold to like lick that shit, and she put it on my finger, right, to hold it straight. Then with like a little piece of cloth, she wrapped my hand around it. That's how I traveled, guys, with a popsicle stick. And I'm trying to make a fucking, these kids need to be stopped. But she wrapped my finger with like a certain amount of cloth, and I traveled like that with a popsicle stick in my finger and like a piece of cloth, and I had to carry my luggage like that. When I came over here, of course, my mom took me to the doctor, and then they recommended me to the hospital. They put a small cast and everything was fine, but I still have that little bump right there. I hope you guys can see it. It's not that noticeable. It was 10 times worse. Well guys, that's the story of how I broke my fingers scratching my back. And of course I told my friends up front, because if I lied and they found out, you know, that's probably worth a year of roast, and I wasn't trying to get roasted for a year. But nevertheless guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Remember to like, subscribe, share the channel, you little rats. It always helps out. Peace.